Hi friends, I'm here with the yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to. Feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today. For this practice, we're going to use some props. You'll need a strap or something like it, a scarf or dog leash could work, a couple of blocks or something like it, and a blanket or cushion. And we'll begin sitting in Hiro, Virasana. So in this pose, we're sitting between the heels. And for a lot of bodies, that can be uncomfortable, so a lift under the hips can make a big difference. And you can decide if you use one block or a couple blocks, and if the ankles are tight, having a blanket under your shins where the feet hang off can be useful, and have a strap handy just nearby. And take your time getting settled. It sometimes can take a little bit to find how this works for your body right now. And of course, if no amount of figuring out is having this work for you, don't do it. You can sit cross-legged or in a chair instead. And the nice thing about this pose, if you can find a way for it to work, is that the pelvis is neutral and then the spine is more easily upright. So it's a nice reference for the rest of class to have this feeling of even, equal ease in the torso. So you can relax your arms in your lap or down by your sides. And we'll take a few moments with eyes closed or a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. Start to slow down your breath. And these first few moments can be like a returning home back to yourself. Setting aside whatever plans or activity or mental problem solving you might have been doing. So that you're simply just here, feeling what's right here, right now. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Feel your sit bones like 2 feet that you're standing on, standing tall. Nice, long, open torso. And you can let your eyes open, keeping a soft focus, and feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you. So we're going to take our strap or whatever you've got. Hopefully it's something long enough so that you can pass your arms over and back. And we'll do this several times. And each time you might inch your hands in a little bit closer so that it gets a little bit tighter to go over and back. If you have hypermobile joints or tend to hyperextend or lock, try not to do that. Just a teeny bend in the elbows equally. And there may be creative ways you figure out to avoid the stretch, going one shoulder at a time or bending. Try not to do any of those things. So it's both arms at the same time. Tiny, tiny bend in the elbows. Mostly straight, just equally going over and back. And you should get to a place that's fairly tight, maybe a little challenging to make it over the hump. Once you get to that minimum distance, maximum stretch, we're going to hold it straight back at the most challenging place. And then there, See if you can find that equal torso again. Feel your sit bones lengthen up through the top of the head. Nice deep breathing. And then release. You can put your strap down for a moment. We're going to interlace fingers in front and put some pressure between the arms like you're going to pull them apart. And this can now spread between the shoulder blades, getting into the opposite side of the torso. Spreading the ribs. And then release. Let's take the strap in the left hand. We're going to bring the left arm up, bend it straight back, and then reach your right arm behind your back to grab the strap and inch your fingers in towards one another as close as you can. If you're able to reach your fingers, you can let your strap drop. Otherwise, just reach them as close as you can. Elbows are going in towards the midline and back towards the wall behind you. Keep the breath deep. I notice it gets a little tighter as I take a deep breath in. The resistance of a full lung, full rib cage adds a little intensity, and then it lets off as the exhale. And then release. You can let your strap drop. We're going to lean into the left hand and then circle the right arm. And it might feel a little creaky after what you've just done. Try and make the biggest circle possible. Going slow over any part that's creaky or tight. Finish up the circle you're on and come to a side stretch. Reaching out through the fingers but grounding down through the sit bones. And then let your head fall towards the floor. Take that top arm out and down until your right shoulder pulls down, stretching right side of the neck. So head is falling one way, shoulder pulling the other way. Keep your head hanging as you press into the bottom hand to come up, and then use that hand to help lift your head. Same thing other side. So now take the strap in your right hand, bring the right arm up, bend it back, left hand behind the back, fingers inch towards one another. And these two sides may be quite different. Usually as we're trying to find balance, we'll notice all those places that are imbalanced. So just noticing, doing our best to bring balance through doing similar things on both sides, but it's okay. The body is uneven. Feel how your breathing affects the pose. And then release, let your strap drop, lean into the right hand, circle the left arm. Big circles, reaching as far back as you can. Finish up the circle you're on. Come to a side stretch, reaching long through the fingers, grounding through the sit bones. And then let your head fall. Take the left arm out and down until your left shoulder pulls down, stretching left side of the neck. Press into the bottom hand to come up. Use that hand to lift your head. And then let's take a few half circles with the neck. So just dropping the chin to the chest, coming through center and over to the other side. Using this to even out the two sides. Next time your chin is to your chest, stay there. Interlace your fingers behind your head and let your elbows hang down, stretching the back of your neck. Release the arms, head floats back up. Bring your hands to the floor behind you, fingers facing forward. And if you're up on a couple blocks, you might need to just be on fingertips. Lift your chest. Lift the chest as high as you can. And then release, come up, hands to knees. Pull against the knees and pull back through the belly, the chest, drop your chin. Rounding. And then release. Turn the fingers to tuck under the knees and press the palms towards the floor. And they may or may not come all the way to the floor, depending on your flexibility. Just go in that direction. We'll take a few lion's breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose, and as we exhale through the mouth, stick out your tongue as far as you can and look up and back as far as you can. So really stretch your face. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Again, in. Again. Really emptying all that stale air. Last one, really go for it. And then release, sit back. Let's take a few wrist circles. A couple times both directions. And then we're going to finally release the legs. So you can tuck your toes, scoot back, move your blocks or props out of your way, and take a little rock front to back. So as you rock your weight forward, getting a stretch through the toes, as you rock back, getting into calves, ankles, Achilles tendon. And if you need to release your joints in some other way, feel free to do that. From here, we're going to walk hands and feet away from one another and come into a downward facing dog. So opening up the backs of the legs, rehabilitating the knees. And go as slowly as you need to. You may want to pedal out your feet a little bit. Yawning open, getting the blood flowing. If it feels creaky in your knees, you can also reach your hands back and give them a little rub or release in some other way. Working with your body. Coming from down dog, let's lift the heels. Tuck your tail and start to unfurl your spine, coming all the way out into a high push-up position. And then let the hips pull you back slowly into downward facing dog. And we'll do this a few times. Inhale forward. Exhale back, down dog. Inhale forward, high push-up. Exhale back. Now inhale forward, high push-up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And let's take an extra couple breaths here, feeling around. How is this now? And then back to down dog. One more. Forward, high push-up. Lower down. Up dog or cobra. And this time, let's come back to child's pose. Coming to a good rest. Letting go, letting the weight of your body release back into the floor. Just a reminder that you can rest anytime, whether you rest in this shape or a different one. Let's come back through down dog. And walk your hands and feet towards one another. Let's hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. Let the weight of your head hang, the weight of your upper body release. And then bend your knees a little more. Slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Make our way to the front of the mat, coming into mountain pose, Tadasana. Feet can be together or apart. Bring hands together at the heart. Let's take a full A-series sun salutation. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen, part way up. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Let's take 5 deep breaths. Down dog or child's pose or sitting, any neutral shape. When you rest, you choose a shape that feels like a rest. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. This time from down dog, take your right leg up, bend your knee in, and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint, feeling what you are doing. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a couple times. Big circles both directions. Take your leg a little higher and then bring your right knee towards right upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Now right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward, high lunge. Inhale, arms up. Settle in, sink low. Let's grab the left wrist, take it across, side bend. Come over to the other side, grab your right wrist, take it across. Back to center, interlace fingers behind your back. Lift the chest. Hips low, heart high. Release, arms up. Tip forward, standing splits. Hands to the floor or to a few blocks. We'll do this with hips square and with the upper body letting go, like ragdoll. Last breath. Release, step back. Warrior one, drop the back heel, inhale, arms up. Sink low. One more breath here. Release, make your way to down dog. You might take a vinyasa. You might move in some other way. Take the time you need and feel what you are choosing to do. From down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in. Start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a few times. Take your leg a little higher, and then left knee towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Take it across towards right upper arm. Send it up and back. And right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge, inhale, arms up. Sink low. Let's grab the right wrist, take it across. Over to the other side, grab the left wrist. Back to center, interlace fingers behind your back, other thumb on top this time, that we don't normally cross. Release, arms up, tip forward, standing splits. You do this with hips square. Let the upper body release. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. And one more breath. Release, make your way to down dog. And then settle into a good resting pose. Down dog, child's pose, sitting, or something else. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog. And step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's take just the right arm up as we inhale. Exhale over to a side bend. The left arm can provide a little support. Reach long, strong core, strong legs. Reach a little further out, come up. And release down. Same thing, other side. Like a big yawn. Reach a little further out to come up. And release down. Let's interlace fingers, press out through the palms, and take the arms up by the ears. Shoulders drop as arms reach straight and rise up onto your toes for a little balance. As you do this, drop the shoulders, belly drawing in. Start to fold forward, staying in balance on the toes. You can bring your hands to your legs wherever they meet. It might be the upper legs, could be the lower legs. Keep breath steady. And then release. Drop the hands, drop the heels, drop your head, let that go. Let's bend the knees and come into chair, Utkatasana. Last breath here. Release, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior 3, shift forward and find your balance. You're welcome to take any arm position. You can modify or adjust the pose in any way you need. Step back, warrior 1. From here, let's come into eagle arms. Right elbow on top. Little upper back arch. Deep bend in the front leg. Shift your weight forward, come onto the toes of that back foot, and then step into eagle, Virasana. Knee on top of knee. If you can hook your ankle around your calf, do so. If it doesn't reach, just hug it in close. Unwind, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Rolling open through the top hip. When you're ready, take the left arm high. Last breath here. Let's release and make our way to down dog. If you want to take a few handstand swings on your way, you are welcome. You can swing that left leg up and down, getting a little air time for the right foot. Do as many or few of these as you like, including none. Eventually, making your way to down dog. When you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior 3. fine-tuning as best you can. And in poses that are intense or complicated, it's harder to feel subtlety. So we do the same ones over and over again to practice expanding. Can I feel more here when I'm right at my edge? Can I still open up perception? Step back, warrior one. Eagle arms, left elbow on top. Lifting the heart, sinking the hips, nice long lower back, belly drawing in to support that. And then shift your weight forward, come onto the toes of that back foot, step into Eagle, Garudasana. Release, unwind. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, modifying or adjusting however you need to, going in the directions you know to go in. Meet your limits. Release, make your way back to down dog if you would like. Take a couple handstand swings. You can do as many or few of these as you like. Eventually finding your way back to down dog or a good rest. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog. From down dog, right leg sweeps up, step forward, low lunge. I'm going to drop the back knee. If you want to pad it, you could throw a blanket or cushion under there if you have one, or roll up the side of the mat. And then take a twist. So we can bring the upper body up, look for an opening at the front of the left hip, and then left elbow across to the outside of the right knee. Work the palms towards the center of the chest, open through the top shoulder, still sinking hips forward. Release, hands to the floor or to your blocks. We'll come back for a hamstring stretch. Inch the front foot forward and then flex the toes back. You can stay here or go towards splits, Hanumanasana. Listening to your body. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. And we'll come from here into a pigeon pose. So one way you might do so is to bring your left hand to your right foot, take it across towards the left, and then shift your weight forward. If that doesn't get you into pigeon, find your way there. You may need to adjust the angle of the front leg. You may want to set up some props. You can fold forward when you're ready. Maybe resting your forehead on your hands or on a block. way that I like to view my practice is that the goal is ease. Open awareness and ease. Ease is, of course, easier to access in certain situations and much harder in others. So the purpose of the more challenging poses isn't to force my body into a shape so much as it is to notice what it's like for me as I'm meeting my limits and my edges, the limits of what I understand, the limits of my capability. Can I find peace of mind in those situations? So in that context, it doesn't matter that my body can't do everything. It doesn't matter that things are the way they are physically. As I go towards what's tight, there's a good chance it will open. As I go towards what's weak, there's a good chance it will strengthen. So those are side benefits in my view of this practice, but the real benefit is, can I be with what is no matter what? And I'm using this as a safe place to test those limits. And then out there in the real world, get to put it in practice. Can I be with what is when life throws what life throws at me? But here's the safe space to test the waters. Can I feel this and relax my face, slow down my breath, open up perception, remember that there are things I have control over and other things that I don't. So let's release, come back up, take your time. You might take a vinyasa. You may want to add some counter movement. Maybe there's some way to even out or integrate what you've just done. From down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, low lunge. Feel free to pad the back knee and then right elbow across. So exploring what's possible. Let's release. Hands to the floor or to blocks. Inch the front foot forward, flex toes back, hamstring stretch with the possibility of splits. So you might slide your front foot forward, you might meet your edge right away. And for me, the places where there's a big difference between how I want it to be and how it is, those are the places where there is the most potential for growth. If I always get what I want, it's easy to be at ease. There's a part of me that would prefer that, I'm sure, for all of us. It feels great when things are easy and when I get what I want, but I want to be more resilient than that. So to put myself in positions that it's not immediately easeful, and then how do I find my way there? How do I do that? If you did slide forward, slide your way back. Let's find our way to pigeon. So one way you might do that is bringing your left foot across, shifting weight forward. From there, you may need to continue to adjust. So we are each, of course, limited by our understanding, what we know so far, what we're capable of integrating now, and then what our physical capabilities are. So each of these poses is simply going in the directions you know to go in as best you can, feeling what that's like. And then if there is resistance, if there is some inherent, no, it shouldn't be like this, there's a problem, mostly that's an inside job. And because this is a safe space, if there's ever a no, it shouldn't feel like this, you can always make the pose lighter. You can come out of it entirely. Some of these poses aren't healthy for all bodies. If after a lot of experimenting, you decide, nope, there's just no way that this is useful for me to be with, then come out of it. You can do another pose that gets at the same areas or works those same limits in a different way. Let's bring the upper body back up. Find your way to down dog. Maybe through a vinyasa, maybe some counter stretch. And let's come all the way to sitting. We're going to take a seated forward fold. You can extend the legs forward. Take the flesh of the sit bones back. Feel free to sit up on something. Lengthen and fold. If you can, grab your feet. That could be a good place to lengthen the chest. If you can't, you can either put your strap around and use that to pull the chest through, or have hands on the floor. Let's release. We'll bring the right leg up and we're going to cradle the right shin. So foot is in the crook of one elbow, knee in the other, and just rock it side to side. Now if your back is really rounded, see how much you can sit up. And again, you can sit up on something. You can also bend the left leg a little bit. Try and be upright. Then we're going to open the right leg out to the side a little bit. And then take the right arm underneath, and you can creep as much of your arm underneath as you can. Some of you might even put your head under there. From here, place the right hand down, but instead of placing it right down, we're going to slide it back a little so the leg kind of gets locked in place. And then work on straightening your right leg just as much as you're able, looking up under the left arm. This shouldn't look or feel any different than it does for you. So you are exploring your limits and then practicing being with what is. Now, if the pose is really hunched and not looking like what I'm doing, that's okay. Can you be with that? Can you relax into how it is? Let's release and bring that right ankle to half lotus. Now, if half lotus is not a good idea for your body, it's not for all bodies, Janushirshasana, bring it to the sole of your foot to your inner thigh. If you are in half lotus, you may try a bind. Right arm behind your back can either reach for your inner elbow or maybe the big toe, and you can also use a strap to help you grab that big toe. We're going to fold over that straight left leg, and you can use your left hand wherever it's going to serve you, on the floor, on your foot, on a strap around the foot, going towards length, towards folding. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Let's keep the legs as they are. You can release your arms and then bend the left leg just a little. So it's a big open bend. And we're going to fold here. So folding might just be the idea of folding, and you meet your limit, that's where you are. Some of you might fold further. Could even rest your head on your foot. Now we're going to bring the upper body up. Keep the legs in this orientation. Lean back, pick them up, and try and bring that left leg into lotus. Imagine what that would be like. You might try a few. If you know you could get it in with the use of your hands, you can go ahead and bring it in. Don't force anything. Come up to sitting. You might be in full lotus. You might be in half lotus. You might be in cross-legged. So however you are, we're going to try and lift up. Hands on the floor. Draw the belly in. You may need to lean forward if your arms are shorter like mine are. Lift your legs up off the floor or try to. So even if you're trying, you're engaging all the same muscles. So you're doing it. Let's release. We're going to switch to the other side. You can either just unwind here, give yourself a little ankle massage, or try a Lotus Vinyasa. If you want to try the Lotus Vinyasa, you're going to rock up onto your knees. Elbows are going to go in and down towards the pubic bone as far down as you can. So you lean forward, pick the legs up, unwind, and then take a Vinyasa. Please don't hurt yourself. Come through to sitting. Same thing, other side. Left leg up. Cradle the left shin. So what is the point of all of this? What is the point of all these gymnastics? So one idea is, what can this body do? It's fun to be able to push ourselves. But with the context I was just talking about, while I'm pushing myself, can I stay present and still respect my boundaries? Can I go towards something that's challenging, not get it at all, and be at peace with that, with the not getting it? Great lesson for out there in life. Then we are freed up to be big and risk and try things, knowing I'll be okay either way. Let's bring the left arm underneath. Get it as far under as you can. Bring the left hand to the floor, slide it back so it kind of locks it in place. Stretch the left leg towards straight, looking under the right arm. Can I feel my breath when I'm in an intense situation? Let's release. Bring the left ankle to half lotus or Janu Shirshasana. Can I be honest with myself? What's appropriate for me right now? You might bind. You might fold. Can I take something that's complicated and uncertain and find something of value inside that? So it's not about cranking your body into a particular shape. It's not about changing you in any way. It's about putting yourself in a variety of situations where you get to practice alert, alive, awake presence and ease of being with what is. Release, come up. Bend the right leg just a little, so it's a nice big open diamond. Lengthen and fold whatever amount. You are seeking out your particular limits as they are now. Bring the upper body up, lean back, legs as they are. Try and reach your right toe to your nose, and then try and get it into lotus. You might try a few times. If you know you can get it with the use of your arms, go ahead and do so. Don't force anything. Come up to sitting with however it is. And this time, let's take 25 rapid inhales and exhales. So hands flat. Draw the legs up as much as you're able, and then in and out through the nose quickly. Good. Let's release. You can either just unwind here or try that Lotus Vinyasa again. Rocking up, elbows in, lean forward. Taking any movement, transition. Eventually coming all the way onto our backs. Bring knees in. Take a little circle or rock. Check in with your body. I'm going to start winding things down. You're welcome to continue to do what I suggest or do your own thing. At the end of a practice, it's especially nice to really just do exactly what you feel like doing. So I'm going to take a shoulder stand and plow. If those are poses that work for you, you can join me. You can also instead do legs up the wall. Any other inversion or a very gentle version of shoulder stand would be a block under your sacrum and legs up in the air. If you do want to do shoulder stand and plow, just check in that it feels right for you. So you can rock legs overhead. Inch your elbows in, take legs up, and then feel, how is this? If at any moment it does not feel right, come down. You're welcome to stay right where you are or take any leg variation. Those of you that were enjoying the lotus work, that prep work we did earlier, can be useful for getting into lotus without the use of your arms. So you're welcome to try that in plow. Could take one or both legs overhead. And again, whenever you're done, come down, try and do so slowly. If you're enjoying what you're doing, there's no rush. When you finish, you can check in with your body, what's needed now. I'm going to suggest a fish pose, but you might choose something else. One way of coming into fish is to slide one arm at a time under you, palms facing down. Press the elbows into the floor to pop the chest up, and then take the top of the head to the floor. You can slide your hands out from under you. And you don't need to use the elbows. They can be there or not. You could even take a flying fish with arms overhead. Whenever you're done, come down and rest. Check in with your body, what's needed now. I'm going to finish with a little spinal twist and maybe some self-massage. You may have some part of your body that could use a little attention or a different pose you want to wind down with. Just feeling what you are doing. If you're doing something asymmetrical, just leave time on both sides. Each time you finish something, again, just ask what's needed now. And when nothing else is needed, you can start coming into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Get as comfortable as you can. Letting go of the control of your breath. Letting the weight of your body release. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, gently waking your body up again. Let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles. Eventually stretching out long through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. And roll to one side. Then use your hands to help you up to sitting. Bring hands together at the heart. And just take a moment to silently thank yourself for your practice. You can let that gratitude expand out to the people and circumstances that make it possible for you to be here. That could extend far and wide. Maybe even sending gratitude and well wishes to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Please reach out if you have questions or requests for future practices. Have a good one.